Hey guys, this is Whilce Portacio. I've been getting a lot of people asking me what my brush settings are in Sketchbook Pro on the Cintiq. Well, so here's the video. First off, you go into where is that? There, Stylist Responsiveness. I put it all the way up because I like I like a line to be able to get really fat and really thin depending on the pressure I put, so I put it all the way up. I basically use two brushes, this one and this one. This is a thick brush and this is a thin brush. So here's the thick brush, here's its settings. Now, I like a real thick brush, and when I first start out, I do just a quick layout. So something like this, just something really rough, feeling out the form and putting everything in place. I use this brush because, as you can see, I can get really thin and really thick lines. Now, when I do the layouts, I use the thicker brush so I can, for the most part, stick to just feeling out the form and putting in the layout and not putting any detail in. I'm a very big proponent of taking things in parts. So if I'm doing layouts, I'm only doing layouts. I try not to then get in there and try to do any kind of detail. So anyways, then once I'm happy with the form, then I take that down on the opacity here. And then I'll pull out the thin brush. Here are its settings. It's a basic brush. It's the basic pencil brush. And I like this because these lines are thin and controlled, but with a lot of pressure I can get some thick accents. But for the most part, this is the brush I use to get my hatches. So anyways, bringing the opacity down again on my layout, I'll then come in on another layer and do a thin outline. So let me turn off the layout layer so you can see. I mean, it's not completely clean. I'm mostly paying attention to hitting the form of the line where I want it to be exact, to be, you know, so that the outline will be exactly where I want it to be. I'm not too worried about it being too clean or too varied because I will then later accent the outline. Okay, now once that's done, then I go back to the thick brush and I'll lay in the blacks. Now again, with my settings, I can get these nice gloopy, thick globs of black. And what's really nice about that is that every now and then it'll add an element of surprise, you know, something that I wasn't specifically trying to go for, but it goes down, and then I look at it and I go, oh, that's kind of neat. I'll use that. I can go with that. And again, like I said, I'm a proponent of keeping everything in its place and doing everything by steps. So now I go to the final step, and I get the thin brush again, and I'll do the hatches. Notice the thing I do with the hatches is I will make hatches. I'll try to vary it so it doesn't seem too mechanical. And then if, let's say, there's a black portion here, I will then see, in my mind, in my eye, I see black here, and then I see a light gray with this hatch. And so what I'll do is I'll take where they both meet, and I will basically scribble, but my point is then to come up with a dark gray. So that I have black, full black, a dark gray, and then a light gray, so that it blends in together. And so I get a nice roundness to the form right there. And that's how, let me take off the other layers so that you can see. So you can see that. See, I lay in the basic gray tone with one hatch, and then I come in with another hatch perpendicular to that and try to blend them into the black. Okay, that's my process, and those are my two brushes. Believe it or not, that's it. Thanks, guys.